Hi everyone, I'm Tom and today I'm going to be showing you Secrets in the Sand, which is a game of fast-paced archaeology. On Kickstarter right now, I'll put a link to the campaign page in the description and the corner of the screen so you can check out all of the final stuff. This is a prototype that I've got, but it should give you a very good idea of what the final thing will look like. It's for 2 to 6 players. I have got a 2-player game set up here as an example. Little Glass Marty is assisting me. We have many camps. We have these 5 random travel cards from the deck. We have dice. 1 die has numbers, 1 die has letters. We roll them and determine our starting camps. So I'm here on P1, Marty is here on M15. And we also found out where our first tomb is going to be. That's where we'd like to make our way. We can get loads of points for finding that, but it's going to be a tough journey, as you might imagine. So each round there will be a minister. That's me. I was the first minister. I rolled the dice that found the tomb. I draw a minister card and read it aloud for everybody. Now, anyone can choose to sit out a round and get a travel card instead, and you might really want them back. They're going to be really helpful for moving around. And they will usually be these dig permits. It says 1 dig permit valid for route 4x3. So this is telling us about a route we need to find. If there's 3 or more players playing, the minister sits out and just reads this out and judges who's fastest. But if there's only 2 players, you put the card down in the middle, read it out aloud, and then we both start. So we can use the example for Marty, who's conveniently on the screen here. This permit means he needs to travel 4 spaces in one direction and 3 spaces in another direction, but not back on yourself. Whoever can most quickly find a route that fits that criteria will get to travel this turn. They shout Carpe Diem, they place a new camp, and they draw a dig card that could be something bad, but is more likely to be something precious that we found of varying value. Now, we will have many expeditions. We will put down loads of camps, and you can move from any of them in the future. It's just at the start of the game where we've only got 1 each. But your overarching goal might be to try and get to the tomb the fastest. There are many dig cards just worth 50 points. There are artifacts worth different amounts, but the tombs are worth 2,000 points each. There are going to be 3 in the game, and you want them. So what's difficult about that, you might think? It's a great big grid. I'll just go 4, 3, get as close to the tomb as I can. Well, of course, there are obstacles everywhere getting in your way. Even going in this direction, 1, 2, 3, can't go 4 because the line is missing. And this is true all over the map. The lines will be missing for different reasons though. Over here, it's because you need to cross a river. Over here, it's because you need to cross jungle. There's places where you need to cross over cliffs or canyons. Huge rocks. This is why we've got the travel cards to help us out a bit. Out of the ones we've drawn randomly, the rope will help you go up and down cliffs and canyons. The machete can cut through jungle and trees. The airship can go across any terrain, even spaces that just don't have a path, because they didn't fancy one. I've got some similar ones, but I've got a raft as well that can get me across the rivers. You can see without spending a card, Marty isn't getting anywhere. He could maybe go 1, use his airship, which can cross anything. It's a good card to kind of have in the bag though. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. That card's gone though once he's used it. But of course each round is a very speedy situation, and while Marty's umming and ahhing and trying to work out whether he's spending cards or not, I'm just kind of in the middle of nowhere here. I can just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Scream Carpe Diem, I win the round, pop my new dig site out. And it's important to say as well, the route needs to go 4 spaces in one direction, 3 spaces in another, in that order. So I couldn't have gone 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. I've played by the rules though. We discard the minister card and I collect a dig card. So in this case, I have found a votive figure, 500 points. A small statue gifted to the gods as a religious offering in exchange for goodwill. So all of your travel cards are secret, but your dig cards are public, so everyone knows that I've just had a pretty big payday there. The next dig card is 4x5x2, and yeah, Marty is not going to be beaten this time. I'm puzzling it out, but Marty's got his airship at the ready. He's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, because there's no line this way to get him a little bit closer to the tomb. He's going to go there, and he is going to find something in the dig deck, and uh-oh, it's a sandstorm. He's been a bit unlucky here. Your expedition is lost in a flash sandstorm and must take cover. Missed the next round. And he spent one of his travel cards for that. Now, you can always choose to miss more rounds and get those travel cards. In the next round, the Department of Antiquities announces a surplus dig permit, so not a usual round. The archaeologist who rolls the highest number sets up a new dig camp. Marty's got to miss this round, though. So roll the dice. I suppose, like, no one can beat me. I rolled a 19 as well, so it's unlikely anyone would. But then roll the dice to see where your camp's going to be. G3, I think that's quite a nice position, actually. 1, 2, 3. It's so close, but there's these rocks in the way, and you've got to get the permit that allows you the right journey to get there. I'm really close to it, but that's not quite good enough, is it? So from there, we carry on revealing permits, screaming carpe diem, scrabbling around the board, trying to discover things. And then, as Marty screams carpe diem on 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 1, he arrives at the tomb. Here you don't get a dig card, but you get the tomb itself, which is worth 2,000 points. So right now he's got a tomb, a wall shard for 100, and a card made the person with the most artifacts give one to the minister. So Marty's got my figure as well, so he's got 2,600 to my 750 at the moment. I, as the new minister, would roll the dice and find out where the new tomb is going, Q14, and we would go back to racing around. The game goes on until all 3 tombs have been discovered or someone runs out of camps to place. And as you can see, as the board starts to fill up, options start to get more limited. You can't go in a space with another person's camp. Unless you find one of those cards that gives you a free camp and you roll that number, you do get to take over their camp in that situation. But as things heat up around the final tomb's location, it's probably worth looking into the less explored areas, especially in a game with fewer players. With more players, there'll hopefully be a lot more camps out on the board, unless you're just brilliant. But it's potentially more lucrative just looking at these more open areas, grabbing dig cards and hoping they're worth points. But if you can claim that tomb quickly enough, it is 2,000 points. So it's all about finding those routes as quickly as possible, not particularly about trying to find your way to the tomb. That's a bonus. But everyone else is just trying to make their routes work with the permits that have come out, with the travel cards that they've got, with the situation they have been placed in, and hoping that the dig cards are kind to them. It could be 750 points. It could be the Scorpions here and you have to take your camp away. So that might influence just how much you want to commit to any particular round, and whether it's worth backing out of rounds entirely to get more travel cards, so you've got the flexibility to get into particular locations. Like here, it was all about trying to traverse these rivers. Depending on where the competition falls, it might be all about the canyons and the rocks, the forest, or just a mixture of all of it. And the longer the competition goes on for a particular tomb, as I said, it starts to get very crowded around there, and loads of routes just won't be valid. But as soon as someone's found that third tomb or got all their camps out on the board, count up all of your points. The most wins, and hopefully that winner, and everyone else, donate them to a museum. Go on. Secrets of the Sand is on Kickstarter right now. Again, the link to the campaign page is in the description. You can see all the final stuff there and how to make it happen. I hope this has given you a good idea of what the game is like. There are many, many playthroughs on this channel if you would like to see more from me. Thank you very much for watching this overview though, and I will see you very soon for the next game. Bye everyone.